6:30? But the show is at 7 and dress rehearsal starts 14 minutes ago. Well, what happened? Didn't they say we could have the donkey for dress rehearsal at 4? Having his teeth cleaned. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's out of our hands. I'll see you at 6:30. Just don't be late. The donkey is getting his teeth cleaned. Okay. All right, places, everybody.
Where's Mrs. Jennings?
Well, she's held up at the farm. I'll run rehearsal until she gets back.
No way. She's serious about that donkey. My mom is officially crazy.
Your mom is counting on us to have one final rehearsal before the performance, so let's go.
Oh, please tell me this isn't really happening. You mean I have to ride a donkey down the aisle?
No, what's the big deal? It's just a donkey.
It's riding. I've had a traumatic experience. I don't like its eyes. Plus, I might be allergic.
Well, fortunately, it's just down the aisle, and then you're going to be off stage. And Joseph will be right there to make sure you're safe.
So, shepherd, stage right, with sheep. Wise man, stage left. Angel, in the loft. Thanks for filling in, Gabe. Star of Bethlehem, in the back. Star. Mary and Joseph enter from the back of the sanctuary with the donkey, place the baby Jesus in. We need a manger. Manger for the baby, front and center.
Where is it?
It's under the. It's right near. Never mind, I'll get it. I'll be right back.
So where's our Joseph? Oh, he couldn't make it, but he'll be here for the performance.
But not dress rehearsal?
I guess the last day of deer season was more important.
But this is dress rehearsal.
From what I understand, dress rehearsal was last night. If it wasn't for that freak ice storm out there, we'll all probably be out hunting right now.
I don't hunt.
Unreal. I have a baby at home and I still made it to practice.
The baby. It's all she ever talks about.
And I had to get a babysitter too, which is the worst thing I can do to Joshy. He cries bloody murder every time I have to leave him. And Jason's not going to be home till 6. He's going to cry all afternoon until he sees his daddy.
Oh, poor Joshy.
Look, this is his first Christmas card picture. Doesn't that bow tie just crack you up?
He is so cute.
I know, isn't he? I just love my little man.
Clear something up for me. Why are we using a doll from the nursery for baby Jesus instead of, say, a real baby like Josh?
Exactly. That's what I try to tell them.
I know why. Because he is a magic doll.
Oh, yeah? And how do you know?
Well, because when I hold him, he feels warm, like a real baby. And he cries just like my little brother. But only when you put the batteries in him.
Wait a minute, hold on. You put batteries in your brother?
Not usually.
Interesting. We choose to represent the incarnation of Christ with a toy.
I know. I want to keep one at home.
No, see, he became one of us in all of our frailty, in all of our broken dignity. He came in the form of a human baby, a creation of God, not this creation of man.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying it borders the heretical to present a doll as the baby Jesus. It's incorrect, it's intrinsically false, and it's biblically blasphemous. But perhaps that's just my pastoral perspective.
Yeah, but do you really want a real baby on stage, crying its head off?
That's why you take the batteries out.
Possibly. It will be a teachable moment for the congregation. I mean, do we truly believe the infant Jesus never really cried?
My Joshy never cries as long as he's with me.
Come on, let's get this over with. What's taking so long?
Not too thrilled to be here, huh?
You think? I should be at the Fort Dorchester game tonight. They finally made it to the States and I can't even go.
Well, I'm just the star. How much rehearsal could I possibly need?
As much as rehearsal as I need wearing a dress.
Come on, you totally pulled that off.
Yeah, I like to pull it off and put it in the trash. I should be at the pregame party right now with the guys.
Well, can't we just tape the star to the wall? I mean, it would be so much less embarrassing than having my friends and my parents, you know, like the ones who are financing my theater degree, to come and see me play an inanimate object, dressed in all black, standing in the far back, nowhere near a light. I deserve a spotlight.
You have people you know coming to see you? No one I know is coming to see me like this.
I said I had people coming. I didn't say I invited them.
Guys, you're grumbling and complaining right in front of the pastor. And we're supposed to do everything without those things. First Philippians something?
Absolutely. They teaching a lot in kids' church, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm trying to be really good this Christmas because I have the Magic Doll on my list, and my daddy still hasn't forgotten about how I borrowed my brother's bike and crashed it into a tree.
Wait, borrowed it? That's not what I heard.
Just because I borrowed it and he doesn't know that I borrowed it doesn't mean I stole it.
Actually, it does.
Look, I'm not trying to complain. But I mean, why are we doing the Christmas pageant? Normally, it's all about the Christmas
Ta-ta! I'm a real star.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it. No cantata this year.
Sorry.
It's okay. All good things must come to an end.
My mom's been bugging the senior pastor for years to let her do a Christmas drama. I guess they decided this year was the year.
After I'd written this year's cantata.
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
Awkward. Wasn't quite the word I had in mind.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'd rather if you perform the cantata.
Really?
Yeah, then now we have to be in this.
For 10 years, I've been the choir director here, voluntarily. And I've composed 7 cantatas, voluntarily. Then I submit this one, and they tell me it's going to be this year's Plan B.
Well, maybe you can do it next year. Is it good?
Good? Is it good? It starts with a hush, a low synth, and one single tenor's voice. While shepherds watch their flocks by night, all seated on the ground, seated on the ground. And then the sopranos come in. Angels of the Lord came down and glory shone around, and glory shone around. And then there's a key change and one single alto's voice. How great is our joy, great our joy. Joy, joy, joy! That's the whole choir, of course. It's absolute brilliance. Or it was, anyway.
Obviously.
Well, for what it's worth, I wish we were doing the cantata too. At least then I'd have a part.
With that beautiful soprano's voice, you'd have a solo for sure. Maybe even an aria.
Really?
Well, I mean, you know, if we don't get started soon, we're going to have to go with Plan B. Hey.
All right. We are ready to roll.
All right.
Finally get started.
All right. Quiet on the set. And, oh, good grief. Hey, what's up? Oh, hello? We're just about to get started. You're breaking up. I can't hear you. A power outage? No, we haven't had any power outage. In fact, we're just about to get started.
Whoa! What happened? What's going on?
Oh, tell me this isn't happening. Oh no, Josh is going to be so scared the babysitter's not going to have any idea what to do.
Help, it's really dark, and I don't like the dark. Someone turn the lights back on.
All right. Nobody panic. These things happen sometime with high winds. I'm calling Charlie Simmons. We'll get this taken care of.
Well, it's a good thing we still have Plan B. It won't be much trouble to adapt the cantata, for a candlelight service.
I guess the play just isn't meant to be. If I leave now, I could probably catch the second half of the game. Whoop!
Ow! Oh, that was my foot. Sorry. Huh. Isn't this ironic? Usually a star is much more visible in the dark. Only I'm that much more invisible. What do you know?
Oh,
All right, let's start. So, the prologue opens with the full nativity. Shepherd, lamb, wise man, angel, star, Mary. Where's Jesus?
Ooh, I know. He's in my heart.
Where is he? Someone must have seen the doll. Did somebody take the doll? That's it. Nobody move. This show opens in 2 hours. I'm going to get to the bottom of this thing if it's the last thing I do. All right, we've looked on stage, backstage, and under the stage. I've talked to every single person in this building. All I know is that the 6 of you were on stage when that baby doll mysteriously disappeared.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you think one of us took the baby Jesus doll?
Have you got a better explanation?
No, but shouldn't we get started, with rehearsal soon, or, I don't know, call it off?
That is ridiculous. We can't have a rehearsal without the main character.
Let's just get another doll.
Another doll?
Yeah.
This isn't just about a doll. I want to know who here wants to ruin this program. Someone is out to sabotage our show.
I think it's just about a doll.
Hold on. The main character of this Christmas presentation is a doll. Is incorrect. It's intrinsically false, and it's biblically
Irrelevant. Who's going first?
What? You're going to interrogate us?
What?
That means she's going to ask us a lot of questions and probably hold us here against our will.
You're sure in a big hurry. What's your story?
Story? I don't have a story.
Well, you are a suspect.
Suspect, that's crazy. You are one too,
And you? You know who's bitter about not getting the speaking role?
Excuse me, mister, I'll do anything to get me out of here. Nice dress, by the way.
Hey, you said I was totally pulling this off.
I was lying!
Make them stop!
All right. We have a donkey walking down this aisle in exactly 1 hour and 43 minutes. And there had better be a baby to lay in that manger before then.
Well, if we don't find him, Joshy could fill in.
Come to think of it, you have been pushing us to put Joshy in this program, haven't you?
So?
Well, isn't it obvious? If you were to hide the baby Jesus doll, we'd be forced to replace him, possibly with your own baby.
That's ridiculous. Joshy's not an accomplice.
Is that a confession?
A what? Of course not. How can you accuse me of such a thing? You think I want to ruin the pageant?
I just think you may have personal reasons for taking the doll. Would you agree that, yes, you wanted your son Joshy to be in the pageant?
I did, and I still do.
And why is that?
Well, it just makes sense. It's more realistic to have a real baby in the pageant. Plus, I can have Joshy here with me through all the rehearsals. And he's such a cutie patootie, my little snuggly wuggly.
If you didn't want to be away from him, why did you agree to take the part of Mary?
I thought if I was married, they would ask me for Joshy to play baby Jesus. And who wouldn't want that on their resume? I want to give him every opportunity.
You didn't want the part of Mary. You just wanted Joshy to be Jesus.
Look, I don't like the idea of riding a donkey down that aisle. I told you I don't like its eyes, and I might be allergic.
Why else?
Why else would I be doing this pageant?
I don't think I care. But what I do care about is getting the baby Jesus back in that manger.
And like I said, Joshy could fill in.
Or you could return the doll.
I told you I didn't take the doll. What kind of mother would I be if I was a thief? I care too much about Joshy to taint our family's reputation. Why do you have to be so mean?
All right. I'm sorry. I am just trying to do my job.
Of what? The Grand Inquisitor?
I don't appreciate that. But what I would appreciate is you telling me what you were doing when the lights went out.
Me? I was preparing to leave. If we wasn't going to have rehearsal, I wasn't going to stick around.
Did you happen to take something from the manger as you left?
Are you for real? Why would I take baby Jesus?
I was hoping you could tell me. You seem to be pretty eager to get out of here.
Yeah, I also seem pretty eager to someone else to step in as the head angel, or for something to happen that might get me out of this.
So when did you find out you were going to have to step in as Gabriel?
Well, my mom came in while I was brushing my teeth last night, and she said the head angel caught mono, and I was the only one that can fill in.
The only one?
Well, the only God, perhaps. Preferably you one, that works out, Hey, ooh, you hurt my lips. Hey.
So how did you respond?
Well, I was pretty mad. I already had to consider the game, it's not every year that Fort Dorchester goes to state. State!
But you agreed to it anyways.
Did I have a choice?
You tell me.
Look, in my house, if Mama isn't happy on Christmas Day, ain't nobody happy on Christmas Day, if you know what I mean.
So, you didn't want to do this, but you also didn't want the responsibility for ruining your mom's show.
And I also didn't want the baby Jesus doll.
Of course you didn't want the... Oh. Lamb, sweetie.
Uh-huh.
We need to have a little talk.
Okay.
You seem to know a lot about your Bible. Can you tell me the 10 Commandments?
Yeah. Number 1, you shall have no other gods before me. Number 2.
Okay. Let's go ahead and skip to number 7.
Number 7, you shall not commit something. It just means that you don't be an adult, or at least a mean one.
Okay. So let's go ahead and skip to number 8.
Number 8, you shall not steal.
Right. And do you know what it means to steal?
To take someone else's things.
Exactly. And so you must know that it makes God really sad when we take something that belongs to somebody else.
Kind of like when I took my brother's bike and crashed it into a tree.
Exactly. And you really want the magic doll, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you ever think to take it for yourself?
What? No, I didn't take it.
Okay. Let's keep going with the commandments. Number 9.
Number 9, you shall not bear false testimony.
Right. And that means don't lie about not stealing.
But I thought I meant not to lie about anything.
Well, it does. What I meant to say is when we've done something wrong, like lied or stolen something, we need to apologize and ask for forgiveness.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to apologize for?
Well,
it's okay, sweetie. We all make mistakes.
I took some extra goldfish crackers after Miss Jennings already told me not to. But I was really hungry because I forgot my snacks in my daddy's car and he had already driven away.
Oh, it's okay, sweetie. We're getting nowhere.
Longest rehearsal ever.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I was just wondering when the rehearse part was going to start.
Yeah, that's a good one. Rehearse.
Will be another 2 hours. Give Joshy his afternoon bottle. Please tell him I have not abandoned him.
All right. Where were we?
The beginning.
Oh, that's right. We were just about to begin questioning you.
Excuse me?
But he's a pastor.
Of course. But if God is no respecter of persons, then neither am I.
Note to self, prepare a sermon on understanding Scripture in its proper context. Yeah.
You've had issues with the direction of this pageant since day one, haven't you?
Direction, no. Theology, yes.
Please, enlighten us.
It's simple. The incarnation of Christ is a profound mystery, only to be surpassed perhaps by the mysteries of Christ and his holy church.
True.
See, at the very apex of the incarnation is the Christ child, all the fullness of God inhabiting all the substance of man. See, at that moment of his condescension, we see not only the depth of the mercies of God, but the affirmation of the dignity, the humble and the heavenly potential of man. See, the Creator chooses to embody the creation. Amen and amen. Woo. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
No. Amen. What does that have to do with the Christmas play?
We deny that holy incarnation when we choose to represent the baby Jesus as a doll, a hollow, soulless, lifeless bauble. It's incorrect. It's intrinsically false, and it's biblically blasphemous.
Wait a minute. I know what this has to do with the Christmas play. Absolutely nothing. The wise men was never even at the manger scene.
It's incorrect. It's intrinsically false, and it's biblically blasphemous.
Okay. Go on, Pastor.
Okay, well, yes, an actual human baby cries, right? Yes, an actual human baby may regurgitate his lunch all over the arm of those who are holding it, right? Yes, for this is the very design of the Creator God. Who are we to imply that his design is inferior? to imply that free will, that human expression itself is a trifle to be improved upon, to imply that choice, worship, is the choiceless echo of the machine. Heaven help us. Lord, forgive us of our abominable pride.
Did you take the doll?
Of course I ain't take that silly doll. I'm a pastor of this church. Besides, I can't say I'm surprised that it's missing. You know, God Almighty is just after all. Can somebody get me a drink of water, please?
Oh, please allow me.
Oh, no, you don't. Not until we've had a little talk.
So close.
So, why don't you tell me how you ended up in your current role?
Well, it happened something like this. Mrs. Jennings said, "Hey, you're a theater person. How would you like to be in the Christmas pageant?" And I said, "Well, what do you have in mind?" And she said, "How would you like to be the star?" And I said, "Wow, the star. I'm flattered." And it turns out she meant the star, the twinkling kind.
So, you thought you had the lead role?
Yeah. What would you think if someone told you you'd be the star in a play?
Well, you do make a convincing point.
And then I show up and they tell me to shut my mouth and hold a stick with this on the end. Oh, and to dress in all black and wear my hair back just in case anybody, sees me.
Listen, I have every sympathy for your situation, but I must also say that you have the perfect motive for stealing the baby Jesus doll.
Seriously? Seriously?
Disgruntled, bitter, jealous, and with nothing to lose. Why not?
Nothing to lose? Nothing to lose?
Seriously. In fact, if we were to do the cantata, you'd have a part. You said it yourself, maybe even a solo. Why wouldn't you sabotage this pageant?
I am 3.5 years into a theater degree. My professor goes to this church. I have 1 semester left to get a lead, and no way would I ruin that. The reputation of a sabotagist would not look stellar on my resume.
Stellar, nice. I see what you did there.
I'm sure you weren't intending on getting caught.
Hold on, wait a minute. You still have no right to be accusing anyone of anything.
Oh, no? You listen, and you listen good. I am responsible for this rehearsal, and we're not going any further until the main characters return to his proper place. Either this gets settled or we have no Christmas show.
Ow. Or we can have the cantata.
Oh, exactly. And who could possibly want the cantata more than you?
Wouldn't that be a little obvious?
At this point, I'm not putting anything past anyone. Why don't you tell me what you were doing when the power went out?
I was trying to figure out, the logistics of a candlelight service in an unfortunate event that, power would quickly restored.
A candlelight service where the production of choice is your cantata, not the pageant.
With all due respect, it's far easier to sing in the dark than it is to walk a donkey down the aisle in the dark.
I think you underestimate our donkey.
I think this whole church underestimates my cantata.
So, you took the baby Jesus doll.
What? Of course I didn't take the baby Jesus doll. Why would I do a thing like that?
You said it yourself. If the pageant were to get canceled, the Christmas production would be Plan B, the cantata you wrote.
Sure. In a world where there's no other dolls or bundles or Joshies to fill in.
That's right. Hey.
And I'm pretty sure you're not real thrilled with church leadership right now.
Look, for 7 years, I've been the Christmas hero around here. Everyone's watching to see how I'm handling this demotion. It's already mortifying. You think I want to add to that the reputation of a sore loser?
Sore loser or not, you would still be up here singing and your name would be on the front of the program.
You just don't get it, do you? I think next time I'll actually write for someone who actually appreciates my art.
Oh, don't do this to me. Come on, guys. We've got 58 minutes. I need some help here. All right, you leave me with no choice. I'm going to have to ask the rest of the church congregation if they can help. Jeff, would you turn the house lights up? I need to ask some of the church members if they can help me conclude these interrogations. All right, we've got a missing baby Jesus doll. We have 6 suspects. I've done the best I can, but now I need your help. Is there a question I've missed? Is there a detail I've overlooked? We have 2 gentlemen with microphones, and I'm going to ask if you have a question that will help solve this mystery, raise your hands, we'll bring you a mic, and we can conclude these interrogations. Anybody have a question for the characters? Please let them know who you're interrogating, and they will answer your questions, and we can solve this mystery. I see a question right here.
Yes, my question is for Mary. You were so adamant about having your Joshy play the baby Jesus. Why haven't you brought him to any of the rehearsals?
Why would I what?
Why haven't you brought him to any of the rehearsals?
Well, because I found out that they wanted the doll here. I mean, that's why I bring him to my rehearsals. It would be kind of hard to rehearse with him if he was here and not really in the play.
Next question. Any
I have a question
other?
as well.
Okay.
For the lamb.
For the lamb.
So you put the doll on your Christmas list knowing that you weren't going to get it because you stole the bike. So did you just agree to be the lamb to get closer to the doll so you could take it?
Ooh.
I might have done that because, I mean, if I'm not going to have it at home, I might as well play with it here, you know.
Okay. Thank you, Lamb. Any other questions? I see a hand up over here. There's one behind, and there's one right here. So let's take the thank you, Pastor. Pastor has a question.
This is for the pastor. If it is so important for you to be theologically correct and biblically consistent, then why are you playing a wise man at the manger?
Oh, thank you, Pastor.
Well, my director felt that I could play the part because of the many lines to remember, and it kind of flowed with me giving sermons, so it was easy for me to remember the part.
Okay. Thank you, Pastor. Pastor.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Anybody from the audience, please, if you have a question. We really need your help here. Is there another question? Oh, I have one up here too, Paul, when you're done back there.
My question is for the angel. What did you do with the tickets to the game? Did you keep them in hopes of getting out of this?
Oh.
The tickets I had to the game? My mom gave them away. She said, I'm not going to the game. She didn't want me to go, so you know what she did? She took my tickets out my room while I was sleeping and sold them to somebody else. Yeah, it's gone. Never went.
Okay. Okay, we have another question in the back.
Yeah, my question is also to the angel. I just want to know since
Wait, can't hear you. Go ahead.
My question is also for the angel. If he is a football player, I just assume when the lights went out, he might have tossed the baby across the room somewhere.
Yeah, I could have done that. But you see, I was all the way up here. I was too worried about leaving. I ain't care about the little doll. And if I did throw the baby, it would be out that window.
So he was in a hurry to get to a game that he didn't have tickets for?
Exactly. What? I can sneak in.
Do we have another question? Anybody else? Any other questions? We have one right up front here. Is there another one back there?
This question is for Shepherd and Star. Did you and Star plan this together so that your cantata would be performed and you would give the Star the leading part?
Could you repeat that again?
He's stalling.
Did you and Star plan this together so that your cantata would be performed and you would give her the leading part?
Well, there's one thing for certain. You're no Sherlock Holmes.
That question for him.
This is not NCIS. It's a doll, okay?
That question's for him. The first time I heard this cantata was when he was up here singing it.
Shepherd, we need you to answer the question.
Did we plan it together?
Right.
I'm up front, she's in the back. Okay? I can't even reach the doll.
Okay, that wasn't a great answer, but we'll take it. Another question right here.
This question is for the angel. If the game is almost over, why are you such in a rush to get to it? When you get there, it's going to be over.
Ooh.
I would rather be at the game than be here. How do you mean? I don't want to be here. They got me trapped up here in this dress, in this little, what this is. Like, I'm supposed to be at a game watching a beautiful game. I can enjoy at least 2 hours of it. Why? Why not?
Okay, all right. It's an answer. We have another question over here.
Question for the directress.
Oh, I'm the stage manager. I'm not the director.
Well, the stage manager.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, well then.
Were you on the stage when the lights went out?
Remember I got that phone call and I was right here. I said, we're just about to get started and the lights went out. I wasn't anywhere close to the manger.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you weren't on stage.
I wasn't. Remember I was having a hard time hearing and I said I had to get where I could hear. Whew, I'm in the clear. Anybody else? Another question right up front here.
This question is to the pastor. Pastor, when the light went out, I saw you trying to talk to your buddy about putting the light back on. Are you sure you didn't arrange for the light to go out so the doll could disappear?
Ah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure about that. I moved over. The lights went out, and remember, I called Charlie Simmons, so I couldn't have taken the doll.
So you and Charlie were co-conspirators?
And me and Charlie was talking on the phone.
No, you might have been co-conspirators, though, right?
Yeah. So the light, my phone light was on. You could see me talking to Charlie. I don't know.
Ooh.
No, as I said, I'm the pastor of this church. I would not do such a thing.
We're trying to shed some light here. There's another question somewhere over here, I believe.
I have a question for the star. You might have stolen the baby Jesus just so you can be seen more, because after you found out your part, you would have wanted to be seen more.
Ah. So, did the star want to be seen more? Yes. Answer the question, Star.
I love a good spotlight girl. I am the life of a party. But I don't like negative attention. And my mama would spank me. I can't do that. My professor go to this church. I would fail. I would get in trouble. No, I can't do that.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Thank you for your help.
Help? What do you mean help? We got nowhere. We're right back where we started.
Seems that we're at an impasse.
Look, all I know is that the 6 of you were on stage with the baby Jesus when the lights went out. When the lights came back on, the baby Jesus was gone. He didn't just get up and walk away.
Wasn't me.
I sure didn't do it.
Not a chance.
As if.
It wasn't me.
I'm innocent.
Fine. Have it your way. We're going to get to the bottom of this. And when we do, one of you is going to have some serious coal in your stocking. Everybody, take 5.
So, did you hide the magic doll?
Yep.
Where? Where? Well, what'd you do that for?
Well, who's gonna look in there?
I don't want to.
You promised.
Yeah, but I thought you would hide it somewhere normal, like in a closet or something.
Look, all you have to do is go get the doll, wrap it up, and then tell Mom and Dad that you bought it for me.
You're going to give me your allowance money first.
You will get your money when the doll's wrapped and put under the Christmas tree.
Fine, whatever.
I've even been practicing my surprise face. You want to see? No. A magic doll for me? You're the best brother ever.
No. Hugs were not part of the deal.
Break's over!
Hey, is anybody looking for this?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Where did you find him?
Poor thing. He was crying. I could hear it all the way from my office. The on switch must have shifted on when he was dunked into the baptismal tub.
The baptismal tub? Really?
Who would do such a thing to the baby Jesus?
I knew this was a setup! I swam in that entire tub and there wasn't a baby doll in there anywhere! This is worse than the time you crashed my bike! I'm telling Dad!
I'm really sorry. You see, I had the magic doll on my list, and then my daddy said that I couldn't have it on my list because he said that I had a problem with deceit.
Wonder why he said that.
I'm so sorry.
You know that taking something that doesn't belong to you is not very nice. But thank you for apologizing, and I accept your apology.
You know, I think we all owe you an apology. I've been criticizing that doll all rehearsal.
And I've been mad about being the star or not being the, you know what I mean.
I just wanted to go to the game. I mean, I still want to go to the game, but I guess my priorities and attitude been pretty lousy too.
Mine too. I really wanted Joshy to play baby Jesus. I guess I've been a little bit too pushy.
And I've been upset about the cantata all week. My spirits haven't been exactly cheerful either. We're Christians. You'd think we'd behave better.
Especially at Christmas time.
See, that's what happens when you take Christ out of Christmas. The whole holiday loses its meaning.
Well, let's put him back where he belongs, center stage. All right, let's set for the top of the show.
Just one thing. The baptismal tub? Really?
Baptizing Jesus is biblical.
Okay, let's get everyone into your places. I'm going to take a photo for Facebook and check in. Where's my star?
Hey guys, we're back. Can we get some help out here? We have about 12 bags of hay. And our VIP is finally here and ready for action.
She has no idea.